be presenting deploying a static website on S3 bucket, S3, Amazon S3 using a bucket. So what I've done is I've logged into my account on Amazon, and the first thing I did is create a bucket in free tier. After creating bucket, uh, because I'm deploying a static website, the procedure I followed is in the properties, I have enabled static website hosting with this address, and in the permissions, I've given it all public access. I have given it all public access, and I've given a bucket policy. So whatever object is placed in the bucket can be accessed through the IP address of the bucket. So in this bucket, I've placed my two objects, that is my HTML code, and an image. Now, when I use this address for my bucket, this is the website that displays.
Is that all, or anything else someone needs to know?
That's all, sir. If they have any doubt, I can answer to it.
So what you need to do is, you are in PPT, just the steps that log into database, right? And then S3 bucket, create the S3 bucket and create them and put the screenshots, the steps, and then what are the settings you are making, right?
Okay, sir.
These are all the settings need to be done by one. So by seeing your presentation, anyone else, if he comes, he should be able to follow it and he should be able to do it.
Okay, sir. No problem. And I can also do one more on instance where I can just deploy a static website right now, if you allow me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sir. So I've already created my instance in a default VPC for now. So I'll be logging into my instance, and I've given the permission of SSH and HTTP because we will be because I want to deploy a static website. I've given HTTP permission and SSH because I have to connect to the server from my computer. So now I'll just copy this, and this thing that I'll be using to connect to my server is a putty application. So I'll be just logging in as EC2 user. SSH. I will be giving my key pair here, and that's how I log in. So we are into our server, that is the EC2 that I've created right now. So here I'll be deploying a website, static website right now. First thing we have to do is we have to update. So I'll be switching as a root admin, and then I'll just, for this presentation only, nothing to do. Okay. Now I'll be installing HTTPD service. Okay. Now before we start the service, it is important that we create a file in HTML file. So for that, I'll be creating an index.html file. I'll just use my notepad. Okay, I'll just write h1 hello world. That's it, and I'll just close my file. Now we'll go to a directory that is var www html, and here we will start our service, that is HTML service. Now we'll just check the service. Now all we have to do is take the IP address of this EC2 and we can just check it here. And if there's no problem, it works, is what it is showing. Why is it? So
Should be hello world, right?
yes, sir. Let me just check on.
Because you are running it already in S3 and you are using the same URL.
No, sir. For S3, I used a different one. For this, it is just a EC2 IP address that I'm using. This one. But it's
Go to the index.html again.
here.
So how many files are there?
There's none.
Yeah, I mean, it was not saved.
I did save it, sir.
Oh, but it is not there. Text is not there.
Exactly.
Write it and save it.
Yes, sir, I'll do that. Not bad. Just give me a minute. Yes, escape, W, quit. Now I'll just check it once if that is. Yes, sir, it's written. So. Yes, sir. There it is. I hadn't saved the file. I did, but it wasn't saved. Okay. Yes, sir. So this is the website with the S3 bucket, and this one is with the EC2.
Microservice also you have done?
No, sir.
Microservice tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, sir.
You need any guidance for doing microservice deployment?
Yes, sir. If you can elaborate a little bit, so I would get an idea.
So first of all, do you know how to run a microservice in your local machine?
No, sir.
So then take that activity first. So
okay, sir.
Download any microservice from GitHub or public repository and run it in your local machine, either through STS or Eclipse or in the command prompt.
Okay, sir.
Try to do it with STS or Eclipse. That will be better.
Okay, sir.
That will be that. Once you do it in local, and then you should be able to.
Okay, sir.
And once you run it, then you will try to do it in EC2.
Okay, sir.
So just to elaborate why you need to do this application, see, as a DevOps engineer, you will not develop an application, but you need to know all related configurations of an application. How to install, how different configurations are happening, how to run, how to stop, how to tune the performance, how to monitor, how to set alert. So these all things you have to know. So you have to understand application configuration. You have to understand the folder structures, its starting and stopping mechanisms, its CI/CD, that is continuous integration and continuous deployment, right? These all
Yes, sir.
things are part of DevOps. So when we say application, all different types of applications. You did one web application, then you have microservice, then it could be standalone Java application. It could be Python application. It could be let's say the static website which you have done, right? So any type of application it could be. It could be like Kafka, messaging system. It could be Lambda, right? All these things gradually as a part of this internship you will be doing the exercises and you will learn real time. And we have the product which we have as a GTS service platform, right? So we will be training you based on those real time product components which you will try to replicate. They are already developed. You are just going to replicate them for learning purpose.
Yes, sir.
Anything else you want to share or ask?
No, sir. Not right.
All right. Okay. Irfan, you want to go ahead now?
Yes, sir, I'm ready, sir.
Please go ahead.
Okay. My screen, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir. So today I am representing the PPT on the Node.js, sir. This is small introduction about Node.js. So first we started from the introduction to the Node.js. So Node.js is a open source and a cross-platform JavaScript runtime environment. We use the Node.js mainly for the backends to handle the websites that we created and that a client react with the website. Also connect with the databases. So Node.js is an open source and cross platform. This is used almost any kind of project. The Node.js run on the V8 engine. So V8 engine is a Google Chrome engine that able to browser to run the JavaScript. With the help of V8 engine, we can execute the Node.js and run it on the any web browser. And the Node.js app run a single process without creating a new thread. Means when we run the JavaScript code in other programming language, is there any asynchronous code? Then the other programming language wait for the execution of that code and then go ahead. But in Node.js, we can use asynchronous programming that when we want to execute any code after a time, like we write a set timeout. So Node.js will not wait for the execution of that. It will run in parallel processing. That it will execute other code and wait for the promise
Irfan,
that it will be. Yes, sir.
yeah, when you are explaining certain sentence or para, try to keep your mouse pointer there. And try to,
Okay, sir.
you can move your mouse pointer so that people know you are explaining that particular part.
Okay, sir. Means Node.js app run in a single process. Means Node.js runs in
So
a single process.
I
Means
have one question, right?
yes,
So
sir.
you say Node.js runs on V8 JavaScript engine. Why it is
Yes, sir.
V8, not V7, V7 or 6 or V9?
So V6 and V7 engines are not able to execute the JavaScript code outside the browser, but V8 engine helps us to run the JavaScript code outside the browser.
So means V7 was enhanced, and from V8 onwards, now it is having those capabilities. So V8 is
Yes,
there
sir.
since long time. So don't we have V9?
No, sir, we don't have V9, sir.
Do you know any reason why it is only V8?
No, sir, I don't know, sir, about this.
Try to research. Ask ChatGPT and do some research on it.
Okay, sir, I will do it, sir.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sir, Node.js helps us to connect with the backend, and that helps to maintain the website. And can we interact with the website. So when Node.js perform an input-output operation like reading from the network, accessing a database or the file system, instead of blocking the thread and wasting CPU cycle waiting, Node.js will resume the operation when the response come back. Means when we run any code, that means while accessing the database or reading file or any data from the network, so it will not wait for the data. It will execute other code, and when the response is back, then it will execute automatically.
Can you explain
So
this concept through an example? See,
means
by
are
reading this text, I know most of the people will not
yes,
be
sir.
able to digest. Can you give a
Yes,
real-time
sir.
example how it works?
Yes, sir. For example, when we fetching data from the API using the fetch keyword, that it will wait for a while, that when the data will comes, then it will execute the code in other programming language. But Node.js is different from other programming language, so it will not wait for the data that comes from the API. It will execute the other code, like we have printing any h1 h2 h3 heading or any paragraph or showing the image. It will not stop the executing that code. It will wait for the data from the API and execute the other code. When the data is come from the API, it will execute the API code and show it to us. Okay.
I'm trying to give a real-time example. So let's say you can send it like when you go to a restaurant, right? And
Yes, sir.
place an
Means
order.
means for example, we are standing in a row. We are collecting the tickets. So when a person comes that have not a money, that have not have all money about, means it required 198 rupees and it have a note of 100 rupees.
Hmm.
Then it goes to the other shop and get the money in 98 rupees. Then the JavaScript means the person who are giving the tickets, it will not wait for the coming to the person. So when the person is come, it will give it the ticket. But when he is going to the another shop, other persons can get the tickets. But in other programming language, when the person is going to another shop, other person have to wait for a while. Then he will come and it will execute, and then other persons came to get the ticket.
Hmm. Yeah, let me add you give you a simple example. Let's say there's a food counter, okay, a
Yes,
pizza
sir.
corner somewhere, okay. Now, first customer came and he saw the menu and he placed 5 6 orders.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
when he placed the order, now he doesn't have to wait. He goes and he may sit down, he can talk to somebody, he can do any other activities until this order is coming back, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
one more
Yes, sir.
customer comes. Now, he places another order, right? Now, in the
Yes,
back
sir.
end, the safe is there, multiple safes who are working on those orders, right? So they
Yes.
are
Yes.
also working, and here customer is not waiting, and the receptionist is also not waiting. He will keep on receiving more and more orders and pass it to
Yes,
the
sir.
backend. Similarly, customers also, like the moment they place the order, he won't just wait for the order. Rather, after placing the order, he will do his own activity. He may listen song, he may talk to another friends, enjoy, and he may have water, drinks, anything he can do, multiple activities, right? Now, in
Yes,
between,
sir.
if any of those orders are ready, that order comes and that customer gets. It is not that first come first serve basis. If a second order
Yes.
is completed first, that will be served and he gets and the response, and he starts working. So like that,
Yes, sir.
this architecture is designed. Same thing
Yes,
can
sir.
be achieved. It is not that in other languages it is not possible, but in Node.js by default the behavior is like this. But in Java
Yes,
also
sir.
we can do it, but we have to manually implement multi-threading and parallelism, synchronize, unsynchronize, synchronize everything, and then we have to implement it. But in Node.js
Yes,
by
sir.
default this is the structure.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Yeah, go ahead.
So this is some topics that we have to know before using the Node.js. So there is some
So one more thing
topics.
I will try to add is the architecture of the Node.js, try to put a slide. Okay, the
Okay, sir.
text which you explained, right? The same text is displayed in diagram. You can see it is available online in many tutorials. Try to put that diagram. That is very important, and you can
Okay, sir.
expect multiple questions in the interview from that diagram.
Okay, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
So these are the some topics that we have to know before using the Node.js. That are expressions, data types, classes, variables, functions, this operator, arrow functions, and many others topics are there. So we have to small knowledge about this before using the Node.js, because JavaScript because Node.js is totally dependent on the JavaScript. In MERN stack, the whole full MERN stack is dependent on the JavaScript. So these are the main topics that we know about before using the JavaScript frameworks or any other framework related to the JavaScript. So this is a small difference between the Node.js and the browser. In Node.js and browser, we are importing the files and modules from the another file or libraries. So in Node.js, we have two methods, that one is required and second is import. The require is a old method that are present before the ES6 update, and after the ES6 update we can use import keyword. So in the Node.js we can use both require and import while importing the library, but in browser we can only use the import keyword to import the modules or the library or the files from the another library. And in Node.js supports both CommonJS and ES6 modules. So CommonJS are that we are using the modules before the ES6, we can also use in Node.js, but in browser we can only use the ES6 before, because the browser is a updated version, so we cannot use the previous versions of the JavaScript. So we have to use the only ES6 modules while we are implementing the JavaScript in the browser. In the Node.js, the run application, you know which version of Node.js you are using. So when we are working on Node.js, we have to know what type of which version we are using while working on the Node.js. But in browser, it is not necessary about the browser version, because we can use any version to execute the JavaScript code, because browser is always for working, always execute the JavaScript in any version. Before ES6 or before V8 we can only execute the code on the browser, but after the ES6 or the V8 engine we can also execute on the browser and also execute outside the browser. So the document window object are not present in Node.js. So the document and the windows, like we have a object that is called document and a window that are not available in the Node.js. But in browser we also have a document and a window object and APIs. So we can use the document and windows object in the browser, but in the Node.js we have to create it, the object, to use it. That's all. And this is the introduction about the V8 JavaScript engine. V8 is the name of the JavaScript engine that power Google Chrome. Means V8 is the name of JavaScript engine. V8 that power Google Chrome. V8 helps to power the Google Chrome, and it execute the JavaScript code into the browser. It is the thing that it takes our JavaScript and execute it while browsing the Chrome. When we browsing the Chrome, V8 engine helps to execute the JavaScript code. V8 is the JavaScript engine that is it parse and execute JavaScript code, the DOM and the other web platform APIs. So to execute the JavaScript code into the browser, the DOM and the other web platform, we have to use the V8 engine, JavaScript engine, that helps to execute the JavaScript code into the browser. The cool thing is that the JavaScript engine is independent of the browser in which it's hosted. So the main thing about the V8 engine, we can use it into the browser or outside the browser. That is very useful for the developers, that we can execute the JavaScript code outside the browser. The key feature enable the rise of Node.js. V8 was chosen to be engine that powered Node.js back in 2009. So V8 engine comes in 2009 that helps many coders and developers to execute the code outside the browser. Before the V8 engine, we are not able to execute the code outside the browser. So after coming the V8 engine, it's very easy to implement the websites, and it helps the developer to work easily. And as the popularity of Node.js explored, so with the help of V8 engine, the popularity of Node.js exploded, and many developers using the Node.js V8 become the engine that now powers an incredible amount of server-side code written in JavaScript. So V8 engine powers the code that are we are using server-side that are written in the JavaScript language.
So let me just
And
add
this is
a
small.
little bit about Node.js, the advantage as a server, right? So before
Yes, sir.
Node.js, any web application of JavaScript or anything, we used to have some server like Tomcat server,
Yes,
WebLogic,
yes,
WebSphere,
sir.
right? Where we used to deploy it. And other than
Yes,
Tomcat, remaining many of those servers were very costly. JBoss
yes,
was
sir.
one more server that was also developer version free was there with enterprise support. But yeah, still, for very good features, it was costly and maintenance was very chargeable, right? So, but after Node.js came, now easily we are able to deploy all JavaScript based applications, whether it is React or Angular and all. Okay, as well as now we are able to do server side coding also. So it has dramatically revolutionized the era of application servers or web server,
Yes,
and it has reduced the cost a lot,
yes,
along
sir.
with the effort which we need. So that is why Node.js has been in top of all these web application at this moment. So you may not know Node.js, but React.js or any application, Angular applications, whatever you are doing, they are getting deployed in Node.js nowadays.
Yes, sir.
And when you want to do server side programming, that also you can do with Node.js. So you can become a full stack developer by learning Node.js.
Yes, sir. So this is an introduction about the npm package manager. So package manager is a manager of the Node.js. npm stands for the Node Package Manager that helps. In September 2021, over 2 million packages are reported being listed in the npm registry. So in 2022, about 2.1 million packages are listed in the npm registry. So it makes its biggest single language code repository on the earth. So the npm is the biggest and largest single code repository, so you can be sure there is a package for almost everything. So in the npm, npm helps to install the modules and libraries into our website, that helps to work with the website easily. So npm has almost everything because it has to about 2.1 million packages. So with the help of npm, we can install any type of package that uses and in our website, like we can install React.js, AngularJS, Node.js, all other packages that are required for the website. We can install using npm. Like in Python, we using pip. This is similar to the pip. So in Python, we using pip. In JavaScript, we using the npm to install the packages. It started as way to download and manage dependencies on now Node.js packages. So npm is used started to download and manage dependencies on the Node.js packages, but it has since become a tool used also in front-end JavaScript. We can also use npm in the front-end JavaScript. Like we can install the Bootstrap, we can install the Tailwind to use in the front-end JavaScript. npm manage download of dependencies of your project. So there are some dependencies, like we are using the modules, like we are creating a website on React.js, so we have to install the dependencies of the React. So npm helps us to download the dependencies about the React that we need to create the website. And this is the difference between the development and the production. There are two phases in the developing a project. First is development and second is production. So development is the phase when we start the developing the website, and the production is the phase when we finishing the production. So typically every application start in a development and then transition to the production environment once finished. This is a broad generalization because every developer or company will have their own methodology. Still, typically development is the start and production is the finish. So when we are start to creating the website, we are developing in the development session. So, and after when the development is finished, we deploy the project on any server. So we have to change into the development from the we have to change into production phase from the development phase, so we can easily deploy our project on the website or the or the browser. So development focus on coding and feature development. So development mainly focus on the coding, and feature development stays involved in rigorous testing and quality assurance. So mainly the overall phases of development the website are included in the development phase, and production mark the official launch of the software for users. So when we launch the website, we are changing into the production model. So mainly we use the npm run build to build in a production method. And this is a small example of Node.js application. In this, we are creating a small server that represent a hello world on the browser. So first, we are importing the HTTP module, HTTP package. So require is used to import before the ES6. So after ES6, we can use import keyword to import the package from the modules, all the list of modules. So it helps us to work with HTTP servers. So mainly when we creating a server, we use the HTTP module. There are many pre-built modules that can we use, or we can also make our own package that are helps to make our website easy. So in this, we are providing a host name and a port name to the website. We can show our website on this host name or port name. After this, we are creating a keyword called server, and in this we are creating a server that accepts a callback method, and to callback method accepts two parameters: first a request and second a respond. So first we restore status code. So there are many status code like 200 is for the good, and 500 for the failure, and 404 is for the not found. In the restore set header, we are setting the header that are content type and text plain that know about us which type of data we are representing on our server. After that, we are ending the server with the hello world. The hello world will print on the server. After that, server will listen about us, and it will accept three parameters, that one is port, second hostname, and third is a callback function. In this, we can console this, or and we can run anything in this, that when we run the server, this will print on the console log, and when we write this hostname or this localhost on the browser, we can easily see the hello world program or the hello world text that we written in there. We can write anything in there that will show on the web server. This is a small web server and basic for the beginners. That's also. Thank you.
Yeah, well done, well done. Very good. Yeah, that's a good presentation, Tom. Very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So next activity what you do is research on best 5 framework or libraries on Node.js for server-side programming. For example,
Okay, sir.
Express.js, Happy.js, like that. 5
Yes,
top
sir.
you explore, and for each one of them, give a brief of that. What are the capabilities? What are the advantages and disadvantages? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Then you will realize out of those 5, any one is best or better. That is what you will use to develop your microservices.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you take that exercise and try to present as soon as possible.
Okay, sir.
Anything else you want to bring up?
No, sir. I want to ask, sir, that I am not receiving